This video is brought to you by CatBeast.com. Design your own custom snapbacks and hats.
How's it going, guys? My name's Wilson. Before I start this video, I would like to give a shout out to my sponsor, CatBeast.com. CatBeast.com is your one-stop shop for custom snapbacks made from people all around the world. You can design your own custom hats, snapbacks, beanies, and finding other great designs that suit your fitting. Now on to the video. Biggest surprise, first month 2023 season, shocking the entire landscape. Hot start of Utah and Sacramento. Two teams consider having no hopes in competing. If they keep this up, Larry Marketing could be the host of All-Star activities as a first-time All-Star, and Sacramento can finally end their 16-year playoff drought. But a lot of times, the surprisingly less talented teams have their hot streaks, end up making the playoffs out of nowhere. This video goes back to each of the last 10 seasons for all the biggest surprising regular season teams. We all love an underdog story, hearing about some young teams projected to have one of the worst records in the league only to end up into the postseason, many loving to cheer them on if they're not playing your favorite team. Let's go back 10 years ago, 2012-2013 season, the birth of Stephen Curry and the Golden State Warriors featuring All-Star David Lee. Biggest nub was Steph, second year Klay Thompson, rookie Harrison Barnes, vet Andrew Bogut, rookie Festus Ezeli started half his games, and rookie second rounder Draymond Green. The offseason acquired key vets Kyle Landry and Jarrett Jack, a laughable franchise. Curry even labeled a bust after the early ankle injuries. First fully healthy season, team projected to win 35.5 games, a plus 15,000 for title odds, tied for the 7th worst. After going just 23-43 a season ago, Curry limited to 26 games. Star Monte Ellis traded March of the previous season. Their leading scorer and supposed franchise player is either a postseason berth or a failure. April 2012, little-known Bob Myers promoted to GM. 24-year-old Curry finally unleashed in an era where the league average was 7.2 threes made per game, nearly triple that in 2021. League average scoring still 98 points a game. An 8th seed would have been a dream for the Warriors. Steph signed a 4-year $44 million deal, a high risk due to his past injuries. 122 of his first 32. Curry, the engine to the offense, 23, 4, and 7 on over 45 from 3 on 7.7 attempts. Thompson, trusted by the franchise, averaged over 16.5 points on 40 from deep. Promising defense, while the banged up Andrew Bogut a force protecting the rim when healthy. Barnes, a good piece, brings athleticism and scoring. Jack, solid backup everywhere he went. The most memorable game of Golden State's season when Curry put the league on notice. 54-point masterpiece at the Garden, the start of a new basketball revolution, surpassed Ray Allen's season 3-point record, a feat deemed nearly impossible. But little did people know, the game was about to change for the coming years. A motivated Curry left out the All-Star team, earned the 6th seed, 47 wins. Young and motivated versus the 57-win Young Nuggets. A drooling opening game, Curry to tie, but Andre Miller took rookie Draymond to the hole for the game winner. David Lee sidelined with a hip injury, opened the doors for 22-year-old high-energy Draymond to the lineup. Dubs won 3 straight. Steph balled out, held on Game 6 after nearly blowing an 18-point lead, lost to the eventual Western Conference champions Spurs in 6, but exceeded expectations. The start of an eventual dynasty for a make-or-break season opened the doors for Nuggets free agent Andre Iguodala, a future Finals MVP winner, 4-time champ, will have his jersey number retired one day. One of the best decisions from a good player. If Iggy was to sign anywhere else, likely wouldn't even be considered a future Hall of Famer. The 2013 Rockets also deserve an honorable mention. The 8th seed, 45 wins, acquired James Harden and Jeremy Lin. The team finished above 500 a season before, was supposed to rebuild. Houston and Golden State went on to meet 3 times the following 6 postseasons, Golden State winning all those series. 2014, the Portland Trailblazers, 54 wins, projected 38.5 after finishing 33-49 the season before. The career-ending injuries to Brandon Roy and Greg Oden seem to have haunted the franchise forever, but the emergence of 23-year-old Dame Lillard, prime LaMarcus Aldridge, prime Nick Batum, prime Wesley Matthews, and Robin Lopez, regaining Rookie of the Year, Dame had the clutch gene. What appeared like it will take a few years for relevancy for the Blazers, a 13-game losing streak to end the previous season, with Lopez, also the add of Mo Williams and Darrell Wright, a solid step, shockingly won 31 of his first 40 games, at one point the number 1 seed in the conference. LaMarcus In the top 10 best player conversation, the lethal mid-range jumpers, him and Lillard both made the All-Star team. Still arguably the best team assembled for Dame in Portland. Rookie CJ, limited playing time, 5.3 points, wasn't a thing yet. Played the 54-win Rockets round 1. Aldridge a monster, nearly averaged 30 a game, destroyed Dwight Howard. Lillard 25.5 a game. Blazers D held Harden to 38% shooting. LA's first 2 games, masterpiece 46-18 game 1, followed by a 43-8 game 2. Stole both in Houston, only to set up for Lillard's insane game-clinching bomb. All net, still one of the purest game winners to date. Advanced to the second round for the first time in 14 years. Fell to eventual champion Spurs. Advancing to the second round seemed unfathomable. One of the most exciting seasons of Lillard's tenures. Unfortunately, the franchise haven't surrounded Dame with the proper help since. Honorable mentions includes the 48-win Raptors, 14 games better than the year before. The Lowry-DeRozan duel slowly became a thing. The 43-win Bobcats, 22-game improvement thanks to the addition of prime Al Jefferson. And 48-win Phoenix shockingly didn't even make the playoffs in the loaded West. 2015, the overrated, arguably the worst 60-win team of all time, the Atlanta Hawks. In all honesty, I'm not sure if any of these guys would have been all-stars if they were in the West. Good players, had one of the best chemistry, played true team basketball, coach Bud under Popovich's coaching tree, being San Antonio's assistant for 17 years, and the Spurs having an incredible finals display fresh in everybody's mind. The only big addition, Topo Cephalosha, who couldn't finish the season, ranked second in assists and third in three-point percentage. 14 players averaged double-digit minutes. Considered the Spurs of the East, combined with being in a much weaker conference than today's NBA, an argument can be made between who the best player was, either Al Horford or Paul Millsap. Some casuals would even think Kyle Korver. Even averaging 12 points a game gets you to the All-Star game back then. God damn. Along with forgotten All-Star Jeff Teague, DeMarre Carroll, 3-and-D, Korver historic season, shot over 49% from deep. The worst 4 All-Stars on one team ever assembled. Them and Golden State battling for the best record at one point. Many talked about that matchup as a potential finals preview. Astonishing 17-0 the month of January, 31-2 from December to January. While LeBron back to Cleveland paced himself, didn't take the regular season seriously. Atlanta from 38 wins the season before with the same starting lineup, but the team diminished latter part of the season. NYPD broke Topo Cephalosha's leg outside One Oak nightclub. Millsap hurt end of the season. Korver and Carroll injuries in playoffs, swept by LeBron's Cavs, similar to Memphis Grizzlies style of basketball without superstar John Moran. Atlanta no go-to guys. Everyone in the starting 5 ended up on different teams. Peak regular season basketball at its finest. Honorable mentions goes to the Milwaukee Bucks. Giannis' second season, 42 wins, trended in the right direction. 2016, I'm going with the 48-win Charlotte Hornets. After a 33-win season, signed Jeremy Lin, drafted Frank Kaminsky, traded for Nick Batum, Kemba, face of the team, Marvin Williams, Cody Zeller, a diminished Al Jefferson, the most successful franchise season in recent memory. Nobody thought Charlotte be this good. Even going over 500 would have been a successful season. Lin signed for $2 million, huge bargain. Kid Gilchrist, a lot of hype, but played just 7 games, got hurt. Jeremy Lamb, a solid addition. Mid-season trade for Courtney Lee, a compelling series versus Miami. Stole Game 5 with Lee's clutch shooting. Fans convinced themselves a conference finals appearance was possible after being super close to beating Miami, but D-Wade ruined those chances, dominated Game 6. Honorable mentions goes to Portland after LaMarcus Aldridge left for San Antonio in free agency. The emergence of CJ surrounded Dame with more pieces, 44 wins and a second round. 2017, the OKC Thunder, superstar Kevin Durant left in free agency, joining the 73-win Warriors, became the biggest villain, hated on all levels, leaving teammate Russ Westbrook in the dust. Everybody knew big numbers was coming, but any chance of having a good record seemed to be out the window. The team also got rid of Serge Ibaka for Vic Oladipo and lottery pick Domantas Sabonis. The team anticipated towards a rebuild, assuming Westbrook wouldn't sign an extension, but agreed on a 3-year deal, talked about loyalty loyalty, Westbrook did the impossible, surpassed Oscar Robertson's having 42 triple-doubles for the season. Crazy numbers, average over 31, 10 and 10, a historic feat, had the ball in his hands most times, allowed to do whatever he wanted, totally played his game. Oladipo, a 16-point per game role player. Andre Robertson couldn't shoot. The bigs of Steven Adams, Kanter, and Gibson all solid. Sabonis barely got touches. Jeremy Grant only 22. Campaign also 22. MVP Westbrook played out of his mind. The height of his athletic powers. The NBA sweetheart at the time. While Durant hated. 6th seed, lost to Houston round 1. The team literally garbage without Russ. Wasn't supposed to be playoff material, but one of the most exciting seasons to watch any individual player make history. Honorable mention goes to the 49-win Wizards, 51-win Jazz. 2018, Indiana Pacers, projected just 31.5 wins without Paul George. Little did anyone expect, finished the same exact record as OKC, tied for the 5th worst title odds. Oladipo, expected to be a role player, turned out to become the most improved, first-time All-Star, looked like a franchise guy, numbers of 23 a game, 2.4 steals, defensive first team, well-balanced squad. Looking back, Darren Collison at the point, backup Corey Joseph, Bogdanovich at the 3, Miles Turner at the 5, with Sabonis much improved. The polarizing Lance Stevenson off the bench, being mid-level or better, caught many off guard. Low expectations after PG, supposed to be deep in the lottery, viewed as getting little to nothing in return for their superstar. Looking back, this was Oladipo's last fully healthy season. Seemed like he was just getting started, but regressed, even considered borderline top 10, took LeBron's Cavs to 7. Well balanced, every position loaded. It appeared Indy was on the rise, but Oladipo's injury the next season. Franchise sadly hasn't won a playoff series since 2014. 2019, Brooklyn Nets, 3rd worst title odds, landed disappointed number 2 pick D'Angelo Russell. The season before, Lakers couldn't wait to get rid of him, a franchise supposed to be at the lowest of lows after the awful Celtics trade, giving up all their future assets when the 2014 so-called super team fell out, forming terrible rosters of 21, 20, and 28 wins, random no-namers, D'Lo fully healthy, guys like Spencer Dinwiddie and Joe Harris people barely ever heard of back then, Caris LeVert, second-year Jared Allen, vet Jared Dudley, supposed to be an easy matchup when contenders faced them, but the emergence of D'Lo, extremely fun to watch, big underdogs, epic fun bench celebrations, teammates laughing together, having the time of their life, the opposite of what you see in Kyrie's Nets these days, competing for a playoff spot. Already deemed a successful season. Mid-February, the team 30 and 29 overall. D'Lo stepped up, had huge fourth quarters. Coach Kenny Atkinson created culture. The hopeless became hopeful. Nobody imagined any superstars would even consider the second fiddle of a New York team to join the Nets. The moment of truth came from a 25-point fourth quarter deficit in Sacramento. D'Lo, masterful 44 points, led the team to the 6th seed, but fell to the Sixers with Embiid, Simmons, and Butler just too much. Team wasn't talented enough to make any serious noise. Little did anyone know, superstars KD and Kyrie teamed up there just months after the season over, did things their way. Only Joe Harris in 2022, the one remaining guy from this 2019 squad. Irving's attitude sucked the energy and joy from the franchise, viewed as huge disappointments. If it wasn't for the 2019 run, the Kyrie KD signing wouldn't have happened. The LA Clippers honorable mentions, 48 wins, no All-Stars, overachieved Doc Rivers, always seems to do more with less, and underachieved when having a stacked roster, a 6-win improvement that led LAC to getting Kawhi and Paul George. 2020, the OKC Thunder, a 0.2% chance to make the postseason, getting rid of Paul George and Russ for the older CP3 when seemed to be on the decline after a disappointing 2019 playoffs. Nobody thought SGA would be that good. Credit to 34-year-old Paul's leadership, maximizing the roster. Gallo still a good player, nearly 19 a game. Many even doubted CP3. Was he even gonna play a single game for the Thunder, with Miami as a likely destination spot before even the season started? But little did they know, Paul simply made everybody better. Well-balanced roster, everybody had their moments. Paul's control, a master at hunting for mismatches. The deadly 3-man lineup of Paul, SGA, and Schroeder dominated in fourth quarters before the bubble. The three outscored their opponents by 28.6 points per 100 possessions and 401 minutes shared. Best on-court net rating, 3 unstoppable mid-range kings. Paul finished 7 for MVP, second team All-NBA, under control and hard to stop, the opposite of Russ Westbrook play style. Having all those Clippers picked too, same exact record as Houston, took them to 7 in the bubble, a series the Thunder had no business competing in, nearly upset them. The fact that CP3 finished with a better win percentage and went further in the first round than any of the Russ post-Durant era shows how impactful CP3 is. 2021, New York Knicks, 41-31, projected 21.5 wins, having the worst title odds, laughed at the season before getting Julius Randle, viewed as free agency leftover crumbs. After failing to land KD or Kyrie, the controversial signing of Tom Thibodeau, drafted Obi Toppin, Emmanuel Quickley, signed Nerlens Noel, Alfred Payton, Alex Burks. The most improved first-time All-Star Randle had a breakout surprising season, similar to D'Lo with 2019 Brooklyn, but better, 24, 10, and 6, efficient from 3, second-team All-NBA, a league high in minutes, excelled running the point forward spot, tied for 4th in the East when projected to be deep in the lottery. New York's first postseason since 2013, a weird COVID year, many players missing games, exposed in the playoffs versus the Hawks. Randle's stock then fell heavily, lacked offense. Derrick Rose the bright spot in the Game 2 win. Team heavily overachieved, being one of the least talented. Randle regressed the following season, but still a lot of key players left 2 years later. 2022, I would have went with the Cavs if it wasn't for their play-in defeat, but I'm going with the 56-win Memphis Grizzlies. Made the postseason the previous year, knocked off Golden State in the play-in. Being the 2 seed, wasn't supposed to be this good this fast. Led by the spectacular superstar John Moran, sharpshooting Desmond Bane, Triple J's versatility, additions of great teammate Big Boy Steven Adams, role players Kyle Anderson, Tyus Jones and Zaire Smith, DeAnthony Melton and Brandon Clark, 9 guys averaging 20 plus minutes. Everybody plays a role, young, hungry, energetic, a combination of rebuilding correctly and drafting the right players to build a great team well ahead of their process, staggering 20-5 overall without Moran, super well coached by Taylor Jenkins, beat Minnesota round 1, fell to the eventual champion Golden State, a competitive 6-game series without Moran the last 3 games. Playoffs proves the team needed Ja offensively. Many still shocked Memphis able to rebuild this flawlessly, and now a serious threat to win the Western Conference. Thank you so much for watching this video. Which one of these regular season surprises shocked you most, that caught you off guard? You couldn't believe they made the postseason but ended up cheering for them? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks again for watching again. I love all of you. See you next time.